Hey guys, the Firebird is here. It's just me. My brother couldn't be here today, as always, because he flew to Rome and is now hanging out with his girlfriend, the 5th Roman Emperor. That's true, believe it or not. Anyways, these are the jokes. Yesterday, I posted a poll on my community tab asking you guys what you guys would like to see for this video. This video is a bit of a part 2 to my previous video talking about the unused concepts from Transformers Age of Extinction. In the previous episode, I talked about how Ratchet's death, well, his original death was supposed to be completely different than what we ended up getting in the actual film. For this time, I left a couple of choices. I told you guys you can either choose the Dinobots' original origins, the man-made Autobot, which is like a Squeak's early concept that was actually supposed to be in Age of Extinction and not The Last Night, the Dinobot Combiner that was scrapped for Transformers Age of Extinction, this weird Triptychon / Galvatron gigantic hybrid that was originally supposed to appear in the movie, and the story about how Michael Bay was convinced to make Transformers 4. And out of all those, the winner was how Sideways was supposed to be in Transformers... Wait, that's not right. Okay, who messed up the script?
Hello scrub, soon fire the Sideways army will rise again.
Sideways, could you not try and sabotage the show? Anyways, before I was rudely interrupted, the winner was the Dinobots' original origins, and that's what we're gonna be talking about today. Now, this is gonna be a bit of a part 2, so some of the stuff I mentioned I explained in part 1, so if you haven't seen that video already, I highly recommend it. And while you're at it, I also recently made a Ratchet Wasted Potential episode, so if you're interested or if you haven't seen it already, I'm gonna put a link in the description down below so you can go and check out the Ratchet Wasted Potential after you're done with this video, of course. Like, don't leave just yet. Anyway, so let's begin. I already wasted more than enough time. So, the Dinobots' origins pretty much connect to Ratchet's death. Now, in the previous video I mentioned that Ratchet was killed by Lockdown and the Decepticon, well, the Lords of Deception. The much edgier name, let's go with that. So, Ratchet and Epps were killed by the Lords of Deception, and Optimus Prime and the Nest Forces, since they heard nothing back from them, they went to the desert where they were last seen to locate them. At one point, Optimus, the Nest Forces, and a few other Autobots managed to find Lockdown and the Lords of Deception. They kinda get into a small tussle. After a brute fight against Lockdown, who, keep in mind, at this point he's actually using Ratchet's saw as a weapon, manages to knock Optimus Prime into a cave. The guy explaining it, Rick Alvarez from TFCon, wasn't very specific. My guess is that when he mentioned that Optimus Prime falls into a cave, he mentioned more that he falls into a canyon and then falls into a cave or something like that. I don't know, it's kinda weird. But the point is, Optimus Prime falls into a cave and guess what he finds in there? The Dinobots. So apparently the idea of the Dinobots being knights wasn't something that was changed last minute. Apparently during the, early versions of the script for Age of Extinction, the Dinobots were actually referred to as the Guardians of the Allspark. Apparently the Dinobots were sent with the Allspark to protect them from Megatron, supposedly. They came to Earth, they landed on Earth, but during the landing, somehow they, made a huge impact onto the ground and they were like buried under the Earth or something like that. And because of that, since they were very deep underground, they kinda, reached the point in the earth where all the fossils are located, and they just happen to be dinosaur bones around, so the Dinobots, well, the Guardians of the Allspark kinda just scanned the bones of the dinosaurs, and that's how they gained their Dinobot beast modes. Now, when Optimus Prime finds the cave, Rick Alvarez mentioned that Optimus Prime was supposed to touch the matrix that was on his chest, and he was gonna shoot a beam of light, much like in Transformers Prime when he fought against Unicron, towards the Dinobots. And that beam of light was gonna give energy to the Dinobots, basically bringing them back from their stasis mode that they were, locked in. As soon as this happened, an Autobot symbol will manifest on Grimlock's chest. And now this is actually pretty interesting because in the final product of Age of Extinction, the Dinobot slug actually has an Autobot insignia. And it's very interesting that he specifically mentioned that Grimlock didn't have an insignia until Optimus Prime did that. I don't know, it's just something to think about. After revitalizing the Dinobots, Optimus Prime will ride Grimlock and he will just bust out of the ground, much like in the movie. Well, that didn't happen in the movie, but I'm referring more to the scene where Grimlock and the Dinobots were charging towards Hong Kong and they destroyed that giant wall when leaving the forest. I'm talking about something more reminiscent to that scene. And you know, Optimus Prime rides Grimlock and he and the other Dinobots like charge in to destroy the Lords of Deception once and for all. Now, something that's really interesting, and I know this is gonna get a lot of you hyped, something that a lot of you guys would have wished to see in the actual movie, but in the early script for Transformers Age of Extinction, the Dinobots were supposed to talk. Grimlock was actually gonna get a few lines as opposed to the actual movie. Which I know that's something that a lot of you guys are gonna be like, why didn't we see that in the actual movie? I wanted to see that. And to that I have to say, same here buddy, same here. And yeah, that was basically the original plan for the Dinobots. Instead of, you know, them showing up towards the very end of the movie like in the actual film, in the early version of the script they were supposed to appear halfway through the movie, not towards the end. And apparently something interesting that Rick Alvarez also mentioned is that the Dinobots were originally supposed to have their own superpowers. Kind of like Skyward being able to teleport, or Bumblebee being able to, you know, disassemble himself into a million pieces and then just build himself back to normal like nothing had happened. Something like that. Apparently Scorn was actually supposed to have the power to turn himself into a ball to like destroy his enemies. He would just roll around the battlefield, something like that. He wasn't very clear about it. As for what the other Dinobots' special powers we're not sure because he didn't tell us, so yeah. That's gonna be something that's gonna bother me forever. But yeah, the Dinobots supposedly fought against the Lords of Deception. They won much like in the actual film because it's a Transformers movie. The Autobots always have to win. Don't worry Lord Megatron, I know your time will come. Can you cut this part off the video? So yeah guys, just tell me in the comments down below your thoughts on the Dinobots' original origins. Like, do you guys like this early version of the Dinobots origins better than the one in the actual film? I have a feeling that a lot of people are gonna say that they prefer the original script rather than the final product just because the Dinobots appear halfway through the movie, so that means more Dinobot screen time and Grimlock talks, which that's always a plus for me. Me Fire Brothers likes hear Grimlock talk. Okay, that was a very poor Grimlock impression. I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. But anyways, if you like this video, hit me up with a like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of my videos. I recently did a Wasted Potential on the Autobot Ratchet, so if you guys are interested in watching that video, the link to it is gonna be in the description down below. We do have a Patreon and you know, it's completely optional, you don't have to donate if you don't want to. If you donate, you can get a shout out, you can request your own videos or even do a collab with me. And speaking of shoutouts, shout out goes to Marais Prime. He donated to my Patreon. He has gained access to the Scout tier and therefore he's entitled to a shout out from me. You guys can also donate, but remember that this is entirely optional. But if you do, it's greatly appreciated and I will do my best to reward you for it. So yeah, that's it for this video guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and tell me in the comments down below if you wanna see more of the unused concepts of Age of Extinction. I'm gonna post another poll on my community tab so you guys can vote on what video you guys wanna see next. So be sure to go to my community tab and vote for the video that interests you the most. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe guys.